Hello everybody, how you doing? Today we have to put right the Premier League form which has gone out the window, having lost the last two games. Today we need to put it right, but it's not going to be that easy because we're playing in a local derby and it's away from home. Hello, it's a very warm welcome to episode 31 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First up, the Premier League Match Day 11 against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hostpurs Stadium, and then we are playing Bestikas in the Champions League phase, match day 4, halfway stage of that competition. And we'll see where we are sat after that game against Bestikas. Bestikas, of course, from Turkey. Before we have a look and see if there's anything been happening since you were last with us, don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me some comments, and let me know what you think of the series so far and any help or whatever that you want to give me for this particular series. And also, don't forget, you can follow everything that's happening on this channel by follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2 or X or whatever it's called now. I keep calling it Twitter. I don't think anybody refers to it other than, I mean, who goes around saying, oh, follow me on X, follow me on X, follow me on X? I don't think they do. I think they still follow me on Twitter. I do. Anyway, what's been happening since you were last with us? Well, it's a good point, actually. I don't think there's a great deal been happening. Let's have a quick look. No, last time out, we lost that a 3-2 game against Everton. Really annoying. Didn't play to our full potential, having got off to a good start. And then, of course, a 3-0 win against Wolves. Mavropanos after 2 minutes. Ollie Watkins after 55. Emerson rounding it off after 89, making it really comfortable. And that's where we are at. Fifth in the Premier League. There has been a match played. Let's have a quick look and see what's gone on. We are on the later games today. I noticed a 5:30 kickoff must be on TV. We are on TV, and then of course there's a 7:45 kickoff, Manchester United and Arsenal. So the early games have been played. Everton have drawn in the Merseyside derby 1-1 with Liverpool. Burnley have lost again 5-1 to Manchester City. Foden, Rodri and Haaland the scorers in that one. Chelsea losing 3-1 to Newcastle. Crystal Palace beating Leeds by a 0-0, and Brentford beating Wolves by a 0-0. So the table looks like this with these games still to play, and I'm presuming some on Sunday. Yeah, league leaders, or were league leaders, Aston Villa are home to Leicester, and then it's Norwich and Brighton playing. I know there's a Monday game as well, Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, so it'll sort itself out by about Monday. One thing we do need to, so the table looks like this as it currently stands. Manchester City are top on 27 points. Aston Villa would possibly go in front of them, depending on goals and what have you, if they win their game. So they're trying to keep up at the top there. Brentford in third, doing very, very well with 21 points. And then come ourselves and Manchester United, both on 20 points. So a win today would sort of push us up a little bit, but still a little bit way off those at the front. 4 points off at least if we win today. Tottenham currently down in 13th place with 12 points, our opponents today, so we'll look at that in due course. One other thing that was outstanding from the last episode, of course, having got past Wolves in the Carabao Cup fourth round, was a quarter-final draw in the Carabao Cup. And what we'll do is we'll go through for that draw right now and hand you to past Mark to find out who we're going to be playing in the quarterfinals. And here is the draw for the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. And having got past Wolves, we are in this draw. 8 teams in the draw for 4 ties. Let's have a look. And in the draw Arsenal, Aston Villa, who are doing very well in the Premier League at the moment, Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Manchester United, Tottenham, our next opponents after we've seen this draw, and then ourselves. So we'll get underway. First team out is Manchester United. Manchester United will be at Old Trafford, and they will play, don't be us, please, Bournemouth. Thank goodness for that. That's one out of the way. We've avoided Manchester United and Bournemouth then. Arsenal, they're at home. Is it going to be a London derby? No. They're going to play Everton, who beat us last time out in the Premier League. Brentford, who we had in one of our saves in FM23, will play Tottenham, which means we have got Aston Villa. Question is, are we at home or away? At home. So the London Stadium, Aston Villa will come to visit, and they are the four ties. Manchester United will play Bournemouth, Arsenal will play Everton, Brentford will play Tottenham, and West Ham will play Aston Villa, and all Premier League Carabao Cup quarter-final. Well, thank you to past Mark, and yes, Aston Villa are our opponents, playing them here in a couple of things. I'm thinking, as they are up near the top, it's quite possible that we will come back. I think we originally were going to come back for Rangers and Leeds United, but may well be that we come back for Aston Villa and Rangers, then play a few games down to Leipzig and around here, obviously with the EFL Cup quarter-final in the mix as well. So we'll work out what we're going to do. Brentford doing quite well, so it may be that Leeds and Leicester offline and come back for Brentford and Leipzig, and then we'll do Aston Villa and Liverpool, something like that. Anyway, we'll see how it all pans out in due course. But yeah, Aston Villa, our opponents, on the 18th of December. That's when we'll be playing them. Right, I don't think there's a great else to tell you. Medical centre, we do have a couple of injuries. Of course, James Ward-Prowse is out with those damaged cruciate ligaments, but he is now within a couple of weeks of returning to the fray. Thomas Souček is out for 5 days with a gashed lower leg, and Raul de Thomas, he's out for long term. He's got a hip injury in training. He's going to be out for 2 to 3 months, so we'll be missing a striker there, but I'm sure we can cope. James Ward-Prowse coming back would be a good thing, I think, to myself. Right, Tottenham, our first opponents of the episode then. We have played them twice in this series so far. Lost to them 2-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last season in the Premier League. That doesn't bode well, does it? Managed to squeeze past them at home in December last year. But, well, we'll see. Things have changed. Personnel has changed. Who knows how we are going? As I say, they've not been going particularly well so far this season. That doesn't, of course, mean a darn thing. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. They are without Pedro Porro, who is unregistered. We have Benrahma unregistered. Souček, as I said, with the gashed lower leg. De Thomas out with a hip injury. And James Ward-Prowse is out with damaged cruciate ligaments. Let's go and have a look at the team then that will face Tottenham. And the team that faces Tottenham looks like this. Areola is in goal. Parisi, Friedel, Todibo and Johnson making up our defensive line. Carrera, Zuma and Alvarez in midfield. Kudos is sat behind Bowen and Watkins. And the bench then looks like this. Mazulia, Mavropanos, Emerson, Kufal, Samadic, Lucas Paqueta, Kamada, Skulls and Ings. And here we are at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They've won 1 of their last 5, drawn 2 and lost 2. We've won 3 and lost 2. Both of those games in the Premier League. We're currently in 5th place with 20 points. Tottenham 13th with 12. Minutes in, a throw in for Tottenham. They're playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder today. I'm playing our usual formation, of course. That ball through to Bakantur, and it's a shot. He's added in, and Areola nowhere near it. I was debating whether to play Mazulia today. He played so well in the game against Wolves, and I relented and put Areola back in goal. I'm at the moment regretting that. Nice through ball to back and steady himself and just curled it round Areola. Just that one highlight in that first half. And we've been on top, but not very productive. If you look, 4 shots, 2 on target, 0.04 on the XG, so that's rubbish. 46% of the possession. They've had 1 shot and that 1 on target and put it away. 0.16, 54% of the possession. Things are going to improve in the second half. 52 minutes on the clock, looking down the barrel of our 3rd successive Premier League defeat, and things not going to plan at the moment. Quite sure how to fix it. The Premier League or the AIs have suddenly worked out how to beat us. It's not good. Good thing. I thought the game against Wolves might have given us a bit of impetus, and Bestikas is in again and defended well that time. Be careful! It's gone through and missed. I think didn't save it. I don't think. Bestikas plays it back to Kulusevski. Kulusevski takes a shot now across the face of the goal. And they have a free kick just outside the penalty area. Dangerous position. Quite sure who's over. It's Alvarez over the ball. And it's through, and they've put a second in. And Bissouma is the scorer. It's 2-0, and we're not coming back from this. We've done absolutely diddly squat. And we're going to need to make some changes, I think. An hour on the clock, and we've done nothing. And with just about 60 minutes on the clock, having conceded that second goal, we're making 2 changes. Kudos is coming off, and Dolce Kamada is on for him, and Jared Bowen. I really do think, unless he bucks his ideas up, we might need to be looking for a new striker in January window. Jared Bowen is off, and Danny Ings, who's been moaning about getting game time. Maybe, Danny, this is your chance. And with 76 minutes on the clock, making 2 more changes, Tilo Carrera has come off. Lucas Paqueta replacing him, and Edson Veres, he's off, and Ollie Scholes comes on to replace him. We really need to do something, and we're doing nothing. Well, that was poor. We didn't even see an attacking highlight for us, and, well, it's the 3rd loss in a row, this time against local rivals Tottenham, Bentancur and Bissouma getting the goals, and we've done nothing. Parisi has picked up an injury, a thigh injury as well. And we just looked very, very poor in amongst that lot. 8 shots, 4 on target. I think we had 4 and 2, so pretty much 0.51, which is a bit better. 45% of the possession. I'm lost for words. And the bad news is that Parisi is going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. He's injured himself. He's pulled a hamstring. And it means that Emerson was going to have to deputise in that left-back position. And he's adding to a slightly growing injury list at the moment. Souček, De Thomas and Parisi now joining that list. And with Ward-Prowse still a couple of weeks away, it's not looking that fantastic. But, yeah, unfortunately, Parisi has hurt himself. So that's bad news. So with the day's games played and Arsenal doing us a favour in beating Manchester United by 2-0 at Old Trafford. Thank you very much. Means that Manchester United don't pull away from us, and that is good news. So they are 4th on 20 points at the minute. So it's Manchester City top on 27. Aston Villa still have a game in hand over them at the moment, and they play tomorrow. Yep, they play Leicester tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Brentford are in 3rd on 21 points. Then come Manchester United 4th on 20, then ourselves. And then at the moment, it's getting very close now. Liverpool and Crystal Palace both on 19. And then Arsenal and Nottingham Forest just outside the European places on 18. We need to buck our ideas up, basically. I'm not quite sure where we're going with this. Right, we will come back in 3 days for the game against Bestikas, and I'll bring you back with any news before we play that game. And ahead of the game against Bestikas, we will have a quick roundup of what's happened in the Premier League. As you'll see, everybody has played 11 games now. The games that you haven't seen: Leicester beat Aston Villa by 1-0, and Norwich beat Brighton by 3-0. And then on the Monday game, Nottingham Forest beating Bournemouth by 3-0, which means that Manchester City are top on 27. Then Aston Villa on second on 24. And then it's the 3-point gap. Nottingham Forest now moving up into third, just ahead of Brentford. I'm not sure if that's on goal difference. It can't be on goal difference. I think it's on games won. They've won one more game than Brentford. And then Manchester United in fifth. We drop down to 6 and getting ever closer to dropping out of the European places. We need to find a little bit of form in the Premier League very, very soon, and need to go on a little bit of a run. Norwich, Brighton and Burnley still in that drop zone, but Norwich with their win against Brighton, fellow relegation candidates, will have given them a little bit of help and getting closer to Wolves and Bournemouth, just outside the relegation area, of course. Right, our opponents in this one is Bestikas. Bestikas are a club from Turkey. They play in the Sportoto Super League, and they generally play at the Bestikas Park in Istanbul. Of course, they are home to us today. How can we have a quick look and see how they've done to get here so far? We can. So they played Nice, lost 4-1 to Nice. They beat Shakhtar by 2-1, and they beat RB Leipzig by 2-1. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's paying for him as well. So that's quite interesting. Generally play a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. A system that has been hurting us a little bit of late. Let's hope it doesn't go and do it today. So the Champions League phase, we'll have a quick look and see how things are going into this game today. And we have the first round of games: Milan, Liverpool, Celtic, Manchester City, Barcelona, Marseille, Feyenoord and ourselves are in the top 8 as it stands. But it's all very, very tight. As you'll see, lots of teams on 6 points here, 7 points, 9 points. So Milan, Liverpool and Celtic, the only teams to have won all 3 of their opening games in this competition. Of course, just a reminder that you need to finish in the top 8 to go bypass the sort of playoffy bit. And then if you're in 9th to 24th when it ends, then you will go into a playoff for the remaining 8 to face the 8 that we're in. And obviously the advantage there is that you have to play the home leg first and the away leg second. So the advantage is that if you can finish in the top 8, you do get the advantage of a home leg for the second leg of the match, as it were, the tie. So that's having explained all that. That's how we are ending up. They are without Bullet, who is unregistered, and Armity, who is out with a lower back stress fracture. We have a number of injuries, of course. Benrahma unregistered. De Thomas out with hip injury. Parisi out with a pulled hamstring. Souček is doubtful. Don't think we will be playing. Maybe on the bench with a gashed lower leg. And James Ward-Prowse still not ready with his damaged cruciate ligaments. Way too early. And this is the team that will face Bestikas in this Champions League phase, match day 4, halfway stage of the competition. Mazulia is in goal. Emerson, Mavropanos, Todibo and Kufal make up our defensive line. Carrera, Zuma and Alvarez in midfield. Samadic comes in behind Ings. Bowen drops to the bench. He's been out of form, so I don't see why we should start him. Ings then alongside Watkins up front, and then Areola, Casey, Kamada, Bowen, Friedel, Kudos, Mbuma, Johnson, Archibald, Marshall, Lewis Paqueta and Orford make up the bench. And here we are for this game at the London Stadium, the Champions League phase, match day 4. Bestikas playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder and an attacking midfielder. Very narrow setup. As they come out onto the pitch. Shamadic with 15 minutes on the clock. It's headed over though. They have a throw in deep in our half through the legs of our defender. But Shamadic kicks out and a mess up there. What's going on here? Over the top, thankfully. Emerson with a throw in. Carrera has taken a knock. He's on the ball now. Carrera finds Alvarez. Alvarez finds Kufau. Back to Alvarez. Alvarez into Watkins. And it epitomises the form we're in at the minute. Missed chance. Watkins snatched at that. Coming forward again. Emerson on this wing. Emerson pulls it back for Carrera into the Ings in the area. Has crossed it in. It's bubbling around there and still not able to put it away. Who was that? Watkins again. Didn't put that away. We're still control of the ball at the moment. And lost it now. And Alvarez putting that ball into touch. See it again. Watkins again here. Emerson deciding he wouldn't run to the byline. Ings gets himself in a position, pulls it back. Actually, the goalkeeper that flicked it back, and Watkins couldn't put it away. Watkins trying to put pressure on as we try and win this ball back. Pressuring them high up. That's cut out by Alvarez. Nice to Watkins. As Shamadic. As Mavropanos there. Emerson. What's he going to do with this? Is he going to try and cut this in now? Cross the ball boy into the area, but nobody there. And it was poor in the end. Emerson running back. Picks the ball back up. Zuma to Alvarez. Alvarez touches it to Kufau. Kufau now into the area. Cross it in. They're defending very, very well. Alvarez. Kufau, it's headed in. Danny Ings, his first goal of the season. Question of whether he was offside. Of course. VAR will look at it. I think it's been awarded. I think we have had it awarded. Kufau. Oh, he's definitely onside. Lovely ball in. And Ings gets his head to it. 1-0 on 23. Kufau with a throw in on that far side. Alvarez. Lots of highlights in this one compared to the Tottenham game. And Ollie Watkins gets his 13th of the season. And suddenly, in 2 minutes, or 4 minutes, we're 2 up against Bestikas. Kufau, Alvarez, back to Kufau. Kufau down that wing. And all he did was crossed it into the danger zone. It was left by Ings. Watkins behind him. Whether Watkins called for it or not, I don't know. But Watkins tucked it away. Mavropanos with a long throw. He throws it straight to the Bestikas player, and they come away with it. Rebic is on the ball. He's been herded away. And poor ball as well. Shamadic equal to it. Watkins was not getting to that and nearly tripped. Back to the goalkeeper. Emerson heads that down to Carrera. Mavropanos. Shamadic. Kufau around his man again. Chips this one in. Ings. Oh, it's off the post. Ings just couldn't quite direct it inside the post. And half-time comes. And it's been a comprehensive first half. As far as we're concerned, completely different to the Tottenham game. Just makes you wonder what we were doing. 21 shots, 11 of which have been on target. 3.25 and 62% of the possession. Bestikas have had 1 shot, nothing on target as yet. 0.11 and 38% of the possession. Kufau getting 2 assists. I noticed he got the assist for the Ings goal, and then 2 minutes later, the assist for the Ollie Watkins. Well done to him. Good first half. Let's continue in the second, please. And first highlight of the second half, 45 minutes on the clock, nearly 46. And it's a throw in to Bestikas as they try and get a goal back, which will make it interesting. Todibo bouncing around there. Carrera, Samadic, lovely play. Ings, and a counter-attack is on. Ings going very, very wide. He's got Emerson in support. Emerson to Zuma, back into the middle of the park. Back out Emerson, Carrera inside for Alvarez. His third goal of the season, and on 47 minutes, we are 3-0 and coasting this one. Lovely play in the end. Emerson making use of Carrera. Carrera saw Alvarez coming in from the edge of the box and just teed him up. We have a corner. Samadic with an outswinger. It's swung, it's headed clear. Back to Samadic. Samadic to Zuma. Zuma, Emerson. It's, goalkeeper made the save, but only parried it as far as Watkins. Watkins getting his 14th of the season. And on 54 minutes, we are 4-0 up against Bestikas. And as many goals now, boys, as you can get, because goal difference could come into play. So it all helps. Bestikas go forward. And it's cut out Alvarez. And there's a question of a penalty. Surely not. I'm not seeing them ruled out. So it's going to be a penalty. Yeah. And Bestikas could get one back here. And sent Mazulia the wrong way. And it's 4-1 on 56 minutes. Almost straight after we scored, I think. Highlight from kickoff. Watkins to Emerson. Swings it out wide to Kufau. I haven't seen much of him in the second half. Oh, and that's a poor ball. Try to get that, thread that through. And they'll have their tails up now. But Alvarez cuts that one out. Ings to Carrera. Carrera comes forward into the area. Carrera, it's in again. And Samadic puts it away this time. His 5th of the season. And immediately in reply to their penalty, it's 5-1. 3 goals in just as many minutes in this game. And, well, I'm not sure why we didn't play like this against Tottenham. Question of whether he was offside or not, but I think, no. When that ball was played, it was behind him. A corner on this side. Samadic with an in-swinger. Deep. And goalkeeper comes to collect and does collect. Defenders running back. And that ball fired long. Cut out by Todibo. Chamberlain. And puts that into the area. But Todibo is there. Tidies up. Has Emerson in support. Emerson. Samadic, who scored that goal. But that was a bit loose. Watkins wise to it. Emerson. Emerson has Zuma inside him. Carrera, Ings through to Samadic. Samadic misses the target. Should have put this one away to make it 6-1. Samadic almost had too much time there. Tried to curl it, didn't curl though, did it? And with 62 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes. Zuma is coming off. He brought on Marco Friedel in that ball-winning midfielder role. And we've also taken off Thilo Carrera, who's had a good game. In fact, he's had a fantastic game. And we brought on Lucas Paqueta for both of those because they were getting tired. Free kick now. Swung in. It's headed clear. But only as far as Friedel, who's the last man. 66 on the clock. Mavropanos out to Emerson. Emerson into the area. He's going to put this in. It's gone in the goal. Danny Ings. And it was an own goal, actually, which is why we didn't see it. Come off of... we'll see it from behind. Mavropanos, it's 6-1 then. Emerson puts this ball in. Oh, dear. It's sort of bit of a ricochet, really. And with 70 minutes on the clock, making one more change in again in that midfield. Lewis Orford comes on in place of Alvarez, who is also getting very tired. He's also had an excellent game. And with 83 minutes on the clock, making our final two changes, we've taken off Danny Ings, who's had a good game and maybe has put himself in the box seat for the next Premier League game. And he's done very well today, so he potentially will get a start. We've replaced him with Kudos, and our other change is we've taken off Emerson on the left-hand side of defence. Ben Johnson, who can play on that side, has come on in that place today. He's taken Emerson's place as, of course, we have that injury to Parisi on that left side. And it's all over. It's a resounding 6-1 win against Bestikas. And we've done very well. 34 shots, 18 of which were on target. So that's over 50%. 5.88 on the XG and 58% of the possession. They have 4 shots, just the one on target all game. 1.08 and 42%. I thought we were in for a tougher match than that, I assure you. So we come back with the scores from these 2 days of matches. You'll see our 6-1 win at the bottom there. Other notables, Manchester City beating Feyenoord by 2-1 after going a goal behind, actually. Liverpool beating Lazio 4-0. Leipzig beating Lyon 3-2. Rangers being beaten by Nice 3-2. Paris Saint-Germain, the current holders, of course, beating Shakhtar by 3-0. That was on Tuesday. Then Wednesday matches, Ajax beating Rosenborg 3-0. Atletico Madrid beating Sturm Graz 3-0. What other notables? Bayern Munich beating Celtic 2-1. Juventus beating Partizan 5-0. Barcelona beating Marseille 3-1. Milan 4-1 against Olympiacos. Napoli 4-0 against Young Boys. Manchester United beating Real Sociedad 4-0, and Tottenham managing a draw against Real Madrid, which is a good result probably for them. In fact, they were in the lead. It was only the fact that they equalised 4 minutes into injury time that meant that Real Madrid got on level terms. So, with 4 games played, halfway stage, this is how it looks. Lots of teams on 9 points. It can change rapidly. Just 2 teams got 100% records so far. Milan and Liverpool both on 12 at the top. Then come Barcelona, Manchester City, ourselves in 5th, Atletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester United in the top 8. And then, of course, it falls down. Tottenham are 24th at the moment. Need to pull themselves together if they are to establish themselves and get a place in the last 16, as it were. So we'll see how that goes. But that's where we're at in the Champions League so far. We've got the game against Rangers coming up in the next episode. So watch out for that one. And then we have Leipzig, and we have then got the final 2 matches back to back pretty much. Around about here. I hope that's not an international weekend, which is why there's a gap in between, because that would not be very helpful at all, would it? I don't know. That's Football Manager for you. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That'll keep you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire and our other series, Bottom to the Top, as they are released, of course. New episodes of Irons in the Fire are released every Monday and Thursday here on the channel at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on Twitter or X or whatever else you want to call it. Rubbish. Follow me. Just offside 2 is where you need to be. Hope to see you for the next episode. It will be episode number 32. It's out on Monday, and it's going to be Aston Villa and Rangers in the next Champions League match. Till then, goodbye. Have a good weekend.